hosted by me, Mustafa, and our lovely staff members who you'll all get to hear from a bit later in the program. I wanted to kind of start by saying thank you to all of you who have worked tirelessly over the years to help DIL reach where it is today. And I personally have worked with so many of you over the years, and I see firsthand all the effort and all the hard work and all the dedication and the commitment that everyone puts in. So really, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. Keep supporting us because without your support, we really wouldn't be where we are at today. I also wanted to just show you a couple of resources. So I'll start by showing you a document that we have shared with our chapters. It's a Google Sheet called DIL Multimedia Resources. Let me just share my screen really quick and show you. Okay, so this is a Google Sheet that we created last year. It has kind of all of our current gala dates, as you can see, the ones that are confirmed, any ones that are, oh, this one's confirmed too. Anyone that are tentative and any other information. So as you can see, there's different tabs at the bottom too. There's some pictures, some access to some folders that have some pictures. There's a bunch of marketing material, some stories, and some financials as well. So the purpose of this is just in case anyone needs any DIL related material, you'll just have it at your fingertips. We have shared this with all of our chapter members, but I'll be going ahead and sharing this again with all of you. It just needs a couple of updates. I'll be doing that. I'll add some of our most recent pictures to it as well. But just wanted you all to know that we do have this resource available, and it is for the chapter members. And so for any time, if you need any kind of information on DIL, whether it's statistics, number of schools, how many children we have, or just any kind of marketing material, or if you want to check on the status of a fundraiser or which fundraisers are happening, all of that information is here. One other thing I wanted to briefly talk to you guys about was, hang on just a second, was our social media. So as you can see, I have our DIL page, DIL Instagram page pulled up here. We have 4,953 followers at the moment, which is pretty good, but there's definitely room for improvement there. One thing we notice is that we're not getting the engagement that we would like on social media. So our social media platforms and channels, and we have a presence on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on LinkedIn, we have a YouTube channel as well. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter. But Instagram is kind of our main channel. So if you follow our Instagram page, it's support_DIL. I would encourage you all to please follow this page. Tell your friends, anyone who's interested in our work to follow this page. And we're updating this almost every other day, 2-3 times a week. There's some really great resources on here, and just to stay in touch with our work and kind of see what's been going on, what's the latest with DIL, what kind of programs we're running, as you can see, we have our latest on the DIL Hugo Global Partner Summit, which was just last week. One thing that just disappoints me a little bit is, as you can see, I mean, we're getting some likes, 14 likes, 14 likes, 4 likes, 12 likes, but we would really want to see that number go up. So please, I encourage you all to find this page first. It's right here, support_DIL, and I'll be sharing all these social media handles in the chat for this conference as well, just so that you can have them at a click. But please follow this page, like our posts, forward them to your friends, and let's see this followers, this total number build up. I really want to see this, get to 5,500 and then 6,000 and then slowly build from there. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is through the engagement of our followers. So with that said, I would like to move to our first segment. Actually, before the first segment, I wanted to show you all a quick video. So this video that I'm going to show you is from a DIL teacher. Her name is Mariam Shiraz. She is a DIL English teacher from Bhimber Tarar, and she's just going to talk a little bit about how DIL helps to build the confidence of students and how it helps to make learning fun. So let me just, sorry about that. Let me just pull up this video. And it's just a minute long, so I'm going to go ahead and play this.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mariam Shiraz and I am from Bimbatrar. I teach English at DIL. I have been teaching at DIL for about 3 years. I teach English and I always try to make learning fun and easier for my students. I help my students to improve reading, writing, and speaking skills. And I started my journey here. So teaching at DIL is my first experience, and it's been a great opportunity for me. If we talk about government curriculum versus DIL curriculum, then DIL curriculum is more practical and activity-based, while government curriculum focus more on just memorization. So because of this curriculum, students can understand their concept more better. I see a big change in my students' learning. They are more confident, they can express their ideas better, they perform more well in class, and they can express their ideas in a more better way. If I get a chance to change one thing in education, I would make learning more practical and activity-based. We need to focus more on skills and creativity instead of just passing exams. I'm very grateful to for DIL supporters. They are changing lives. Because of them, children in remote areas are getting chance to live, grow, and dream big. Thank you so much for supporting us. Keep supporting us. We are very grateful to you.
Okay, so that was Mariam Shiraz she's a DIL teacher from Bhimber Tarar. Shahira is a student from Orangi town, which is the largest slum shanty in Asia. She's a first-year student at DIL Amna College in Orangi town, and she's just going to share a little bit about her experience as a DIL student.
Chapter members, Assalamu alaikum. This is Zeba Shafi, Program Director DIL, and I have with me today Sharida, first year student pre-medical at DIL Amna College, Orangi Town. I am just going to ask her a few questions about her experience as a DIL student. She's been with us since grade 2 and is now in the college, as I told you. So, Shahira, tell me, when you look back at your school experience, what is the one thing that you appreciate the most?
When I look back into my experience, the one thing which is appreciated is that experience is the confidence in myself, the changes in myself. Now I'm talented and I know the ability to show my talent.
Thank you, Shahira. Tell me, you may have friends or family who are going to other schools, non-their schools. When you meet with them, speak to them, do you notice any difference in their education and yours?
Yes, I have some India friends, and I can clearly see the difference between them and me. They are talented, they are educated. I would say that they are not good, but they have education, but they don't know how to use it, how to build their career.
Wonderful, thank you. Now, any comments on the IT education you received while you were in school, when you were attending IT classes?
The IT classes help us to know the basics of computer and how to use it in a properly good way.
Okay, wonderful. And what would you like to say about TEAL? You are one of the students who got to experience TEAL. Do you think that TEAL is a better way to learn? rather than the conventional teaching from textbooks?
The chief has established my education. We can see the videos and which is more informative than the knowledge we got from our teachers and our textbooks.
Okay. And finally, Shahira, do you have any message that you would like to give to the supporters of DIL?
Yes. On the road to success, there are people behind us who support us, and these are DI supporters, the donors, the workers who work really hard to give us quality education. And I'm really thankful to them.
Thank you, Shahira, for your time. It was lovely speaking to you. And I'm proud to say that we have so many girls like Shahira who are now in our college and they are progressing to universities and going into diverse careers. And I think this is a huge achievement made possible by your support.
Updates from the field. We'll get to hear from DIL CEO and founder Fiza Shah, as well as our Chief Operating Officer from Pakistan, Sadia Hashir. So with that, Fiza and Sadia, I'd like to give the floor to you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mustafa. I would first like to thank everyone who was in attendance. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning. I'm hoping that I'm pretty sure this is going to be a very exciting program. But before I begin telling you about this lofty vision we have set for DIL for 2030, I'm going to have Sadia talk a little bit about this visit that she made to Vietnam just last week. To Da Nang, Vietnam, and she had an amazing trip. This was hosted by UGO, the people who provide us scholarships. So Sadia, I know you're on mute, so you'll have to remove yourself from mute first, and then let's have you share your experience with the audience.
Thank you, Fiza, and Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm very happy to join the call and connect with all of you today. So as Fiza mentioned, I just came back from Da Nang, Vietnam, where I was attending the UGO Partner Summit for 2025. And as Fiza also mentioned, that UGO is a US-based non-profit organization, and they are funding girls' scholarships for us. They have 14 different partners in 9 developing countries in Asia and Africa. In fact, just one country from Africa, which is Tanzania, and the remaining 8 countries from Southeast Asia. And these include India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh, Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Philippines. And Pakistan is their DIL is their implementing partner in Pakistan. So UGO organizes summits and conferences for their partners every year in one of the partner countries. And last year, I had the privilege of attending their conference in Bali, Indonesia. But this year, the most exciting part was that they also sponsored 2 scholars from every partner, which means that 28 scholars from all these developing countries also attended the summit. And 2 scholars, you're seeing Tayyaba from Urangi, DIL Junior 1 school in Urangi town in Karachi, and then Mohsena here. She's from DIL school, Shwalpatan. It's a rural school in the ICT region. And both these girls also attended the summit with me. And it was very, very exciting and very, very inspiring for both of them to be, at the summit with me. If I talk about my personal experience, I think it was very energizing to connect with and collaborate with all the partners from all these different countries and realizing that we were all working towards a shared and a common goal and a common vision of unlocking potential and creating a change through education. Throughout the summit, I was constantly reminded that even though our context may be different, but our challenges and also our hopes are very, very similar. At the opening ceremony, I got a chance to present the DIL's high impact work, and you can see the presentation that I'm, making at the opening ceremony. And I got a chance to talk about DIL's high impact work in Pakistan. And I highlighted how we start working with our students early on, start nurturing them, building the life skills, and start supporting them long before they enter the university gates. The focal point of my presentation was the roadmap to higher education and the holistic approach that we use in in doing career counseling sessions, early mentoring sessions with the students, and the coaching that we provide to them for post-secondary readiness. And this enables our students to secure admissions to the top-ranking universities in Pakistan. On the second day of the summit, I got a chance to participate in a segment which was called Meet the Partners, where we responded to questions around different strategies that we use for inducting and recruiting scholars in Pakistan and in our respective countries. So these conversations gave us a lot of chance to build opportunities of mutual collaboration and learning across the borders. On the third and the last day of the summit, I co-facilitated a session with a partner from India, and this session, it was a 3-hour-long session on attrition and retention. And collectively, all the partners, they talked about some of the reasons and some of the potential risks that are causing our scholars to drop out. And we also came up with some strategies to sort of minimize these risks for our scholars and help them to continue their programs from one year to the next. And after the session, a number of partners came up to me and they said that it was very heartening and energizing for them to see that they were not alone in facing and addressing these challenges. And even Tom Monroe, who's their program director, he also came up to me and he said that for him, this session was the highlight of the 3-day summit. So this was very encouraging and very heartening for both of us. Rati from India, she was jointly facilitating the session with me. So if I talk about the scholars, there were a number of opportunities for the scholars to sort of interact with the scholars from the other countries. They got a chance to reflect on and to share their personal journeys, their academic journeys with their peers from the other countries. They also got a chance to participate in a lot of group tasks and group activities where they reflected on their own challenges from their context, their social, economic, and their cultural challenges that they were facing. They got a chance to hear, about the struggles and the resilience of the other scholars. And some of these stories, they resonated very, very strongly and very deeply with our scholars. I recall at one point when one of the scholars from the Philippines, she was sharing that her parents burnt her books because they didn't want her to go to school. So when I looked at Tayyiba, there were tears in her eyes, and there were many moments where we were, very deeply touched and inspired by the scholars. On a more broader level, I think the scholars also got a chance to connect with and interact with education leaders and industry professionals, and they got a chance to get mentorship support from the wider and the global UGO network. And this really helped gave them, a lot of guidance on their own professional careers. I think on the overall, the scholars got a chance to polish their confidence and their communication skills. They also got more clarity on their own roles as the future change makers and the future contributors to their own communities. I think for all of us, it was a great opportunity to make new connections, build new friendships, and I'm sure they're going to last us for many, many more years to come. And I think the key takeaway for all of us was that we are all a part of a global community of learners, a global community of change makers. So, I also have a slide to share the overall UGO scholar statistics with all of you. So we started the program in 2022, and today we have 342 scholars in cohorts 1, 2, and 3. And I'm happy to share that they've given us 180 scholarships for cohort 4. And this means that we have 70 more slots as compared to the targets in the previous year. So this means that they have full confidence in this ability to deliver on the targets. They also they've also invited one of our scholars. I'm sorry, the slides keep moving up when I click. I wanted to share the picture of Dua. Yeah, sorry. So you can see Dua and Sarah both in Singapore. So Dua was invited to speak at the fundraising gala at Singapore. And she's just delivered her speech in front of the UGO board, the Singapore board, their investors and their donors. And Sarah tells me that she got a huge applause from the audience, and the audience they were all deeply inspired and touched by her story.
Maybe I can just add in here that Dua is attending IBA right now. She is another Afreen in the making. And we were very confident that she'd do a great job. And we were very proud that of all the countries, Yugo asked DIL to showcase their student at their own fundraising event. So yeah, just something to be very proud of for all of us. Go ahead, Sadi.
Do you want to start the conversation about the vision, or should I?
Why don't you just start and I'll just take it over from there.
So I think DIL's new vision for 2030, I think it all came together during Fiza's last visit to Pakistan, and this was around October, November 2024. We made a plan to visit all our different project locations, starting from Karachi, where we visited a number of school campuses. We interacted with the students. We had focus group discussions with the teachers, and then we also met with some of our local partners. Then in Lahore, we visited some of our adopted government schools. We saw the government schools delivering, the government teachers delivering DIL lessons, and we also had some very insightful conversations with the principals of these schools. And then back at the head office, we also visited some of the schools in the Rawalpindi Islamabad region. Some of these were our directly managed schools, and some were the adopted government schools. But after the visits, when Fiza and I, we started reflecting on the high quality of teaching and learning that we saw in the schools, and the impact of our programs and our interventions that we saw in the schools, that was the time when we started realizing that DIL is now ready for scale. And that was the time when we started crafting the new vision for DIL, which we are calling DIL's vision for 2030. So this vision is deeply rooted from all the insights that we got from the field visits, the interactions with the students, the discussions with the teachers, and also the discussions with our local partners and the public officials in the education sector. So all those insights helped craft our new vision. So Fiza is going to talk about the targets that we set for ourselves in the new vision, but I'm just going to briefly tell all of you how we tried to bring the team on board on this new vision. So immediately after we crafted the vision, we decided to share and present the vision to our team. We called a meeting of the senior management, and when we presented the vision, they were all very thrilled and very excited, especially to be a part of this journey as DIL embarks on this new vision for growth and scale. And after this, we also organized a strategy workshop. And during this workshop, we all, sort of focused and tried to build a common understanding of the targets that Fiza had given us for the new vision. And we also tried to align our plans to the new vision. There was a lot of discussion, very open and honest conversations about the challenges and all the opportunities that lie in front of us. But then we all came up with very solid plans for the next 6 years. And we saw a lot of ownership, a lot of commitment from the team. And I think at the end of the strategy workshop, we were able to, develop a shared accountability of all the targets that will lead us to the vision for 2030. So Fiza is going to share some of the targets that we've set for ourselves, and also talk about the action plan for 2025. So over to you, Fiza.
All right, everybody can see my screen. So we have a vision for 2030, and I'm glad Sadi has explained to you how much ownership this vision has with our team in Pakistan. And now I need to get your ownership, because you play a major role in this as well, because you have to raise funds for it. So let me go to the next. All right, so here is a strategic vision for 2030. These are the initiatives that we have chosen. We'll grow the number of DIL students to 500,000 by 2030. Right now, our numbers are at 61,000. 500,000 is a big target, but I'm very confident that we can make this happen. Looking at how we've been fundraising over the years. So that is actually our biggest goal. I will then, after this, I'll go into the 2025 goals. So I'm just giving you the overarching goals right now. Second is that we ensure that 10% of the graduates gain admission to top tier universities. This I feel is again very doable, especially now with the plans that we have, which is the third plan, which is leveraging technology and AI to improve student learning outcomes. So as you've all seen, this recent shift to AI is making such a huge difference. And I truly believe that if we leverage this well, we can see much more success in terms of sending our students to the best universities and colleges. All right, so let's move on. So this is the pathway to impact. And now I'm going to give you the 2025 goals. So that means this is for this year. Now, the plan is this year to adopt 100 government schools. And why just government schools? Because there are very good reasons why we only want to do government schools. One of them is that the costs are 1/4 compared to DIL schools. So you can just see how far we can take our dollars if we work with government schools. We have seen the enrollment in the government schools that we have been involved with increased by 61% in the ECE and middle grades. And these are the grades where we are bringing in the highest level of intervention. So that means the ECE, which is the early childhood education classrooms, and then the middle grades where we've taken TEAL. We've also seen attendance increase in these schools by 33% in the middle grades. This is huge. Government schools, in the middle grades, you see the enrollment drop. In the schools that DIL is engaged in, we are seeing the enrollment increase by such large numbers. So we know for sure that this is the way we need to go. Our impact will be much wider. Our students will learn so much more because they're coming in, attending. TEAL is giving them so much. The reading program is adding so much. We've also included our libraries program in these government schools. So it's a win-win for them all the way. And we just feel that, with this kind of success, we cannot hold back. We need to grow our numbers. We need to grow our presence. And also, when we grow our presence, we are considered a serious player in education in Pakistan. Right now, our numbers are lower. But once we get to that 500 mark, we will be amongst the top organizations that are imparting education in Pakistan. All right. The second goal that we've set is my hope is to provide a laptop to every single DIL student, third grade onwards. But we know that can be challenging. So for this year, we are targeting the 9th and 10th grade. Just recently, we provided laptops. We've done a survey, first of all, and we're doing a study also to see if whether we should be providing phones, Chromebooks, or laptops to our students. Chromebooks are the cheapest, and we at this time, the way the studies, whatever we've seen so far, it looks like we may be leaning towards that. But at the same time, I want the study to come in, and then we want to make sure that that's what we need to do. Chromebooks, as I said, is almost like 1/3 of what a laptop is going to cost. So let's see how things progress from here. Why do we want to provide laptops? I've given you some reasons. Access to e-learning platforms. There's so much out there right now. Students can do their own research in their own time. Exam preparation is another thing. Right now, the way we do TEAL, we have one screen where kids come in and they learn in the classroom, but we could easily flip the classroom, have the kids do a lot of the work at home if they all have a laptop. So, a lot of things we are thinking through, but this is definitely the way we want to go with the 9th and 10th grade. We did a survey, and to our surprise, we found out that fiber optics and data is available to between 78 to 100% of students across DIL schools. which was a real eye-opener for us, because all this time our concern was, okay, if we provide them laptops, we will also have to provide them internet. And we're pretty convinced that the parents will take care of that. So, and we're also looking at maybe having the parents share the cost of the laptop, because then we can eventually, in 2 years, the child can own the laptop. I mean, there are a lot of things that we're working on, security and use of the internet and so on. We're doing, we're actually doing programs on that at the moment as well. And of course, laptops will bridge the digital divide and empower our students for higher education, and they'll get them ready for the workforce for sure. So very excited about this, and we already have a commitment for the first year for the laptops. All right. The third goal is to take DIL to the 9th and 10th grade. We've been thinking about this. We've seen so much success with what we've already done with the 6th, 7th, and the 8th grade. The question was, should we go to the primary school grades first, or do we go to the higher grades first? And we just decided to go with the higher grades, because that is where they're getting ready to go to universities and colleges, and so this will be our first step. So this year, this is the plan to provide DIL. It takes us almost a year to develop these programs, but we will start working on it this year, and hopefully by next year, we'll have it implemented in all our schools. And of course, one of the reasons is that the great demand from the teachers and students as well. It ensures continuity in digital learning from middle to high school. And of course, it's a much smoother transition again, into higher education, because now without these devices, it's just not possible, to go into colleges and universities. All right. And now the fourth thing that we want to do is, with the advent of AI, we feel that we can improve English fluency for our students, because generally what we see is when our students are applying to colleges and universities, where they falter is English. Because suddenly they are competing with, and I'm talking about the top tier universities. So we're competing with a very sophisticated group of students there. And unless they don't have that command on the English language, they tend to not get admission. So we want to do this. I will provide more information for those who want this later, but we are looking at a personalized AI-powered language tutor, and something that DIL will be creating. And of course, this will highly improve the chances of students going into good universities as well. Okay, fifth. Now, this is more of an organizational need. We need a learning management system for our entire organization. Right now, most of our data is being kept in silos kind of, and we feel that we are not getting the best information from all the data that we are collecting, and an LMS will change that completely. So it streamlines communication, it centralizes your performance tracking, which is really important for us right now. We also have real-time data access, and it also improves collaboration. And of course, it gives us the right reports that we need so that we can make really good decisions for the organization, at the management level as well. So as Sadia has explained earlier, that let me just close this. This is the end. These are my 5 goals for this year. I know it's a huge ask. It's very exciting at the same time. But we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have this wonderful organization where everyone is so committed and so willing to give their 100% for us to succeed. And the same goes for our donors, our chapters. Oh my God, you guys, it's because of you that we have reached where we have today. And I know we have slightly difficult times ahead, but I know you can do it. I know we can do it together. Let's take DIL to the level that it deserves to be at. Thank you.
Hi, this is me, Dua. I'm from Orangutan, Karachi, an unprivileged area of Pakistan, where not just educational opportunities are limited, but the mindset of the people who think women should not be educated. Getting into IBA was always my dream, but this couldn't be possible without any financial support, as I'm from a lower middle class background. And there comes Bill and Robo, who supported me to pursue my education at IBA. And now I'm here in IBA pursuing my bachelor's degree in computer science and choosing my dreams. Thanks to Bill and Robo for supporting us. Assalamualaikum, my name is Ariba Mushtaq and I am a DIL graduate. And I wanted to study economics, so I chose my bachelor in economics and finance. But the reason behind I can manage to continue my study is the DIL, because DIL offered me the scholarship called UGO scholarship. And it was the most honorable opportunity for me because it may not possible for me to continue the study without the support of DIL and UGO scholarship. So I am very thankful for the DIL and the UGO to making it possible for me to continue my study and fulfilling my dream. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum, my name is Samanai and I'm from Korat, District Saipur, a very small and remote town. Today I'm standing here as the proud graduate of DIL IRC Sojo Model High School, Korat. And this moment would not be possible with the generous support of DIL and UGO. After completion of my intermediate, I was selected into IB and I was unable to afford their speed, but at that time, UGO and DIL came forward and helped me to get into this university. When I came to know that I was selected for UGO scholarship, I was on cloud nine. It was a proud moment for me and my family. So today I'm the student of IB, the prestigious University of Karachi and Pakistan, and pursuing the degree of accounting and finance. So thank you so much, UGO, for giving me this opportunity and believing in me.
Proud moment.
Okay, so I'm going to start and kind of walk us through basically what's happening right now in a DIL classroom. So I'm going to talk about the curriculum, and as Mustafa noted, also TEAL, and then talk about some of the other activities that we're doing in the tech space. So to start, and some of this might be review for many of you who've been attending for many years, I just want to start by kind of defining and explaining, sometimes I think like in the earlier video, there was, the mention of the DIL curriculum. And the DIL curriculum is the national curriculum. We are following the national standards. It's not anything separate. It's just really an enhancement of that. And so, yes, we follow the standards and we just provide various supports to our schools. And so these are kind of the main features that kind of run through all of our curricular programs, all of the materials that we design and that we bring into the classroom. So we have, of course, our schemes of work, and we design lesson plans. We provide teacher learning materials, and of course, we design assessments. We also include in these lesson plans strategies for inductive teaching, which is essentially giving students the opportunity to create their own meaning based on examples rather than the teacher just simply giving the information. So it's sort of a shift that has happened over the years with our teachers, supported by our training program. And then, of course, all of our work complements the textbook. And so we really want to make sure that everything we're doing aligns not just with the standards, but that it aligns with the textbooks that the teachers are using. I think this is particularly true with the government schools. We don't want anyone to feel that they have to learn a whole new model, but instead this just naturally complements what they're doing already in class, and that hopefully they're able to see that this is an add-on feature. So this model is essentially what we use throughout all of our DIL schools. We focus on these sort of main pillars, and these materials are what we're providing at our primary level. As we move up to the middle grade, of course, we have TEAL. And if you're not familiar with TEAL, which would be a surprise, this is kind of our definition of it. It's a learning model where we teach students through synthesis of video and the lesson plans that are focused on student-centered learning activities, and of course, then assessments. All of these materials are designed in-house by our team. Videos are produced in-house. We've gone through many iterations of the materials. I think many of you know that. Many of you are involved in that work. But what's really great is that we know that this works. We know that our model is highly effective. We've brought it into the government schools, as Fiza has noted, and it's been fantastic. Brenda's going to talk in more detail about the impact of this activity. But again, I just kind of want to focus back that, again, we're kind of focusing on those sort of pillars that we use in all of our curriculum work. And then, of course, we are in the age of AI. And so I wanted to kind of share with you a couple of the programs that DIL is doing right now, partnerships where we are working with organizations that have AI ed tech work. And so the first is StarSpark. And this is an AI-powered math tutor. And we just piloted in our schools in Orangi. And it's really interesting. They have like a feature called the Homework Helper, and it's really nice. I think it's very similar to what you'd see with like Khan Academy's AI program, where students they're learning how to interact with the AI, and they, type in, "This is my problem, I'm not sure how to solve it," and the AI prompts them through solving it rather than just giving the answer. It'll say, "Okay, what's the first step? What's the first thing you're going to do?" And then the student writes in their response, "Great. Now, why would you get that answer? How did you get that answer? And, what are you going to do next?" And so it's really helping the students build those skills. And what I really like also about it is that our students then are learning not just the math skills, the content, and getting that support in a personalized way, which is incredibly valuable, but they're also then getting that opportunity to work with AI, and they're learning those digital skills very naturally through their work. And so, like we were saying, this is a big feature of the Vision 2030, is really ensuring that we're integrating technology. And so this is yet another opportunity where students are really getting that natural practice. So again, this is at the middle school level. We also have an ed tech project that we're going to be piloting called I Do, and it's at the pre-primary and early primary level, which I think is really exciting. So it's not just geared towards our older students, but this is a play-based program that students can use for just a few minutes in the classroom. It's on mobile phones. It doesn't even require a tablet. So we're really excited to try this one out again with our younger students. And so then, of course, we get to our Vision 2030, and we're just so excited about the expansion that DIL is taking. And again, so kind of looking at just this upcoming year, some of the things that we're going to be working on from our curriculum and content development training perspective is, of course, we're thrilled to be able to expand to secondary. Our schools, we're going to be utilizing an e-learning platform. So of course, there's going to be a lot of training around that, a bit of a steep learning curve, but I think it's going to be really, really rewarding for our teachers and our students. And then, of course, to establish this repository of lessons, lesson plans, assessments, so that as an organization, we can quickly churn out content and make sure that it caters to whatever needs our new partner schools may have. So I'll leave you finally with kind of our departmental vision. And I think, again, it really speaks to the idea that we're really wanting to have our students be future-ready citizens with both the 21st century skills that we've always focused on, but also now these digital skills that they can apply, not just in the classroom and in their learning, but for their future as well. So that's my part, and then I'll hand it over to you, Brenda, if you'd like to talk more about the impact and reading program. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. Okay, absolutely, Annie. Thank you so much for that. And I have the pleasure of talking a little bit about the impact Teal is having. And so, we've gone through the nuts and bolts about how it works. And I'd like to just focus on, is this working? And I'm happy to say, yes, it is. So there's some trends that are emerging that are really exciting, and I'm excited to share. Let me just, and to better understand these trends, I just want to quickly talk a little bit about what Teal is designed to accomplish. We know that the current conditions, or the widespread conditions, are about low learning levels because there's a high reliance on rote memorization, a steep dropout after grade 5, a lack of quality materials, and so forth. So we have a number of strategies and activities to address all that, and Teal addresses that, particularly to improve education quality and also to empower students to develop higher order thinking skills as well. So that's kind of our theory of change that we're aiming for. And so just kind of along those lines, I wanted to share just what we're hearing from students, some student voices. We conducted key informant interviews to really, the aim was not so much to collect success stories, although that's what it ended up happening. It was really all about wanting to collect information about how they're experiencing Teal in the classroom, so that we could go back and with that information and improve the delivery of Teal in the classroom. And so from these key informant interviews, some interesting trends emerged. And I'm just going to give you sort of a broad overview from 3 of the students, but there were many more, and they all had something to say along these lines. For example, Razia, a grade 8 student in Karachi, shared with us that before Teal, the teacher talked all the time and we lost focus. And that with Teal, now she has the chance to participate. The videos and visuals, help aid understanding, and that they're becoming more confident in English. And she's noticed her test scores have improved as a result of that. And she has noted that the biggest change for her has been that the Teal activities enable her to learn with understanding, and that would not be possible without Teal. Manur, a grade 8 student from KSK, talked about how her school before Teal only used textbooks, and that learning from just a textbook was very difficult. But that with Teal, now she can rewatch the videos, she can clarify the concepts, and she's seen her grades jump from, a real low percentage to getting, earning 90% on her assessments. Her favorite subject is now science. And if I remember correctly, I don't know if it was Manur or another student, but there was one student who shared with us, my favorite, she said, my favorite, I used to be obsessed with cats, and now I love science. So there's like this real transition and the awareness that's happening among our students. And so, for Manur, she says the key differences she sees are the changes I see in myself because of Teal, and I'm very happy about it. And Ifra, also from KSK, talks to us about how she used to cram and memorize for tests, but didn't really understand what she was learning. And now the videos pique our interest and we can understand in a better way, she says. And then her performance, which reflects in her performance, she says, but before Teal, I was barely passing, and now, she's scoring so much better. And her favorite subject is science, and now she aspires to be a doctor to help people in her own community. And she tells us that Teal is better than I could have ever imagined. So, one of the things that I wanted to really stress about this is these weren't just 3 students who had these things to share. These were really a representative of the trends that we were hearing from a handful of students who we had the chance to sit down with. So it's exciting because what they're sharing touches on exactly what we're aiming to produce in terms of the design of teal. And so teal is working at government schools, and FDE, the Federal Directorate of Education, is our longest standing government partner implementing teal. And now they're seeing outcomes that Fizza had shared earlier, that they've seen this big jump in enrollment and attendance, and that these changes, and this is coming from their words and their reports that they're providing to us, that these changes are strong, signs that teal is working as intended, because it makes school more meaningful, more engaging, and worth attending. So we're super excited to see that. And there's a lot of wonderful student stories coming through, but I did want to share just one, from Fala, who's a senior grader at one of the FDE schools. And she has struggled with subjects like math and science. And her parents, who work in agriculture and face financial difficulties, even though her government school that she was attending before DIL came on the scene was a failing school, but they didn't have the means to move her to a different school. And she was really struggling academically. And then DIL came in, and teal was introduced at the school. And that was a real turning point for Falak. And she, is now doing really well. She started to improve rapidly. In her exams over 2023, 2024, she achieved excellent results. So it was a real turnaround for her, and her teachers and her parents are just so excited about her success. And so as a result of her success, not only that is, people in the community talk, and her friends who had left school because they weren't learning and because just really wasn't providing them with the opportunities that their families had hoped for, that now they're returning to school, now that they're seeing the opportunity teal brings. And so that school had an enrollment of about 60 for this group, and then that jumped up to 97. So you could see, this is having a real impact, at these different levels at the school level, but for these individual students as well. So I'm just really excited to be able to share that with all of you. So really quickly, I wanted to also share another part of the work, with our libraries and reading program. Pictured here is our mobile libraries, which reach 10 schools and about 6,000 students through our government partner. This is, again, operating in the FDE partner schools, bringing reading resources to schools that might not, have access that way, and being able to conduct library period activities. But I wanted to kind of give you updates, because I know over the years we've talked a lot about our tablet reading program, Read to Grow, Read to Know. And I wanted to share with you that that program also, as we're expanding into government schools, that the reach of that program is expanding as well. That, currently we're serving 34,000, a little over 34,000 students who are currently engaged in our DRK, and 28,000 plus of those are from government schools. And so we're happy to be able to continue that. But more importantly is the success that brings for individual students, or in this case, a pair of students. One of the features of that program is that it provides the audio component where students can enjoy the stories and hear the correct pronunciation. And so there's a couple of stories here. Aisha and Wajiha, who are two enthusiastic fourth grade students, really shared that they love stories, but we're struggling a little bit with pronunciation, with unfamiliar words. And so part of the library period, they have opportunities to pair up with reading. And so these two girls have really helped each other out, listening to each other as they try to reproduce the words as they're said on the recording. And rereading stories multiple times. And so now, they're reporting that they, grew in their confidence. They can now pronounce words better according to their teachers. And so, that has led to an improvement in their fluency and comprehension in reading, which we, of course, love to see. So another kind of library activity that I wanted to report on as well has to do with our students program, whereby we've been able to engage our students in writing stories coming from their own imaginations, and then have used AI to produce the illustrations, and also now help. The AI has advanced, and now it's really helping us to be able to translate these as stories as well. So we're able to provide them in English, in Urdu as well, and so it's great because that really supports their comprehension and supports their language. So we're and I wanted to also mention that we've just launched our next cycle with this program. And on one last note here, before wrapping up, is that this next phase of our student authored ebooks are really about engaging our graduates that you had a chance to see on the videos, but having them share their autobiographies and write those out so they can inspire the next generation of DIL students to dream big. And really communicate that message that, if I can do it, you can do it too. And so, these are just another way that we're nurturing creativity and ownership in our schools. We give our students so many great opportunities. So on that last note, I just want to thank everyone, because none of this would be possible without all of your continued support. Your time, your energy, your care has helped us to develop a model that's really working. So thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself Sana Asif, and I'm working as a maths teacher in IM SG 1 to 10 G5 presidential stay. इससे पहले मैं गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज से पढ़ी हूँ और गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स के बच्चों को मैंने ट्यूशंस भी पढ़ाए हुए। एक चीज़ जो नोटिस की है मैंने गवर्नमेंट सेटअप के करिकुलम में और DIL के करिकुलम में, वो ये है कि गवर्नमेंट का जो करिकुलम है वो एक्सरसाइज सेंट्रिक है, जबकि जो DIL करिकुलम है वो कॉन्सेप्ट सेंट्रिक है। हम DIL में बच्चों को कॉन्सेप्ट्स और उनकी रियल लाइफ एप्लीकेशन सिखा रहे होते हैं कि किस तरह से उनको रियल लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, और हम उनको कॉन्सेप्ट सिखा रहे होते हैं, बजाय इसके कि हम बच्चों को एक क्वेश्चन के ऊपर फिक्सेट करें। हम बच्चों को प्रॉपर कॉन्सेप्ट्स के थ्रू काम करवा रहे होते हैं, और उसके लिए हम डिफरेंट रिसोर्सेज, डिफरेंट तरीके से टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करते हैं, जिसमें सबसे जो बड़ा रिसोर्स है वो DIL के वीडियो कंटेंट्स हैं जो प्रोवाइड किए जाते हैं फ्रॉम द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। और उन वीडियो कंटेंट्स के अंदर बहुत सिंपलिस्टिक वे के अंदर और बहुत इलाबरेटिवली एक्सप्लेन करके चीज़ों को समझाया गया होता है, जिनसे बच्चे एंटरटेन भी होते हैं एट द सेम टाइम, क्योंकि उनकी वीडियोग्राफिक्स इतनी अच्छी होती है और साथ में उससे लर्न भी कर रहे होते हैं। इसी तनाज़ुर में हम बात कर सकते हैं कि पाकिस्तान के एजुकेशन सिस्टम में चेंज करने की जरूरत है या इम्प्रूव करने की जरूरत है। वो ये है कि बच्चों को बजाय इसके कि हम एक सेट स्टैंडर्ड दे दें कि ये सही है, ये गलत है, या यही कॉन्सेप्ट आप इससे बाहर नहीं जा सकते, बच्चों के लिए हमें बाउंड्रीज को थोड़ा सा वाइड करना चाहिए, ओपन छोड़ देना चाहिए, ताकि वो खुद कुछ फॉर्मुलेट कर सकें, खुद कुछ लर्न कर सकें। इट कैन बी राइट और रॉन्ग, बट दे शुड फॉर्मुलेट इट बाय देमसेल्व्स। सो लास्टली आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक द टीम मेंबर्स ऑफ DIL, जिनकी टीम कॉन्स्टेंटली हमारे साथ कॉन्टेक्ट में होती है, हमें टीच करती है, हमें अप्रिशिएट भी करती है, और साथ साथ हमें गाइड करती है कि किस तरह से हम स्टूडेंट्स को बेटरमेंट की तरफ लेकर आ सकते हैं, और हमें रिसोर्सेज प्रोवाइड कर रही होती है जिनके थ्रू बच्चे ज़्यादा इंगेज हो सकते हैं, और स्टूडेंट्स को क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग लाने की तरफ इनका सबसे बड़ा हाथ है, और यही इनका इनिशिएटिव है जो पाकिस्तान के एजुकेशन सिस्टम को फ्यूचर में बेटरमेंट की तरफ लेके जाएगा इंशाल्लाह। थैंक यू टू ऑल द टीम मेंबर्स ऑफ DIL, and thank you so much.
So now we can see your screen, but we lost
Okay. So now it's on. Okay, so today I will be walking you through a quick overview of our fundraising goals, revenue strategy, and our key financial insights for the year. So my first slide talk about the higher level picture. We are targeting 4 million revenue in 2025. We project that our chapter will be bringing in 2.9 million for the year 2025 through galas, appeals, and local fundraising. Grant and general donation, we are expecting an additional 613,000 from grants and general donation. The funding gap together, the total is 3.5 million together, and that leads to a gap of 472. This is the difference we need to close in order to reach our stretch goal of $4 million for 2025. This is my 3-year revenue trend alongside with the 2025 projections. This slide shows where the 3.5 million in projected revenue will come from. Our chapter remains the strongest driver of our funding, contributing about 75% the total. We are also expanding through our new chapters, building on grants and general donation pipelines. This breakdown also shows the fact that our chapters collectively have demonstrated consistent growth, bringing in 300,000 more each year. So if you see in the past 3 years, there is a consistent growth in our chapter-based revenue, which is a really good news. This is a quick bar chart where I'm trying to explain how we are planning to close this remaining 472 gap. The majority will come from the major donors and improving how we retain our current donors. A small increase in gift side will also make a big part. And we are also focusing on improving our digital campaigns and marketing strategies to acquire new donors in future. So here I'm talking about, our financial goals and objective. These are the key targets for our chapters and broader leadership. If we execute across these areas, I think it will be a strong position in 2025 revenue goal. To wrap up, here is the key takeaways from our fundraising outlook. Our projections, they are not just like very optimistic, they are based on grounded real data from the past performance and current trends. The 4 million stretch goal isn't just a number, it is supported by a certain plan. It is historic data, including expanding chapter, focused donor engagement, and getting more grant opportunities. Our chapter continued to be the core of our success, and the consistent year-over-year growth proves that how powerful, the local engagement can be in order for us to achieve our goal. In the end, I will just want to say thank you. Thank you, everyone, for supporting our mission. I want to express my sincere thanks to all the chapters. Your dedication, passion, and hard work are the foundation of DIL. You are the driving force behind our mission. And I hope that we will continue this journey and look forward to working together and aim even higher impact in 2025 and beyond. Thank you.
Welcome, Anika, and I'll give the floor over to you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa, for those very kind words. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us. For those of you who don't know me, yes, my name is Anika Akhtar, and I recently joined as the DIL's executive director. But I have been part of the DIL family for over 15 years, as president of Las Vegas chapter, as a member of the board of directors. But the work that I am most proud of is helping develop a math DIL program. Over the last 5 years, I have worked very closely with our incredible team on the ground in Pakistan to develop and expand DIL. And as you've already heard today, DIL is truly transforming our classrooms. It's bringing structure, energy, and modern tools, excuse me, into the hands of our teachers and our students, which I have witnessed firsthand because I've had the opportunity to visit several schools where students were fully engaged and supported by well-trained teachers who feel empowered by DIL's modern technology and the digital learning resources, their belief in DIL and their belief in DIL. You could say that I have seen DIL inside out. And what has kept me committed year after year is witnessing the transformative power of education. I've seen how our young girls have soared. Many have achieved dreams that they could never imagine they could reach. Of course, you have you know about Afreen Mushtaq, our DIL alumni who is currently at Harvard pursuing a master's degree on a Fulbright scholarship. And there are many, many more girls like her who are aiming for the stars. So I am truly honored by the confidence placed in me to lead DIL USA at this pivotal time. With Vision 2030, we have set an ambitious goals for ourselves. But we are also navigating a very tough economic environment, unpredictable, very challenging. And that's why your role as DIL supporter, as DIL ambassador, as DIL presidents, as DIL chapter members is all the more important. I encourage you to reach out to your donors earlier this year. Don't wait till the fall season when every other nonprofit is having their fundraising event. Building relationships throughout the year is what keeps DIL strong and sustainable. And I am there to help you. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can call me anytime, email me, anika@dil.org. I'm here to help. And one last thing I want to echo, something that Mustafa mentioned earlier. We need your help on social media. DIL is regularly posting powerful stories of success stories, but they are not reaching a wide audience. Every like, every share, every comment helps us increase our visibility and validates the incredible work that that is being done on the ground. We need to be seen. We need endorsements. We need to be heard. We need influencers. We need to amplify our message. A strong social media presence doesn't just build awareness, it builds trust. When people see our impact consistently, they are far more likely to support us and help us financially. It opens doors for us to new funding opportunities. So thank you all. I am absolutely touched by your passion, by your commitment, by your heart in this organization. DIL wouldn't be what it is today if it were not for you. So together we are not only supporting education, we are building a better world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anika. And again, welcome to DIL US, and I wish you all the best moving forward, leading this organization and the US chapters. Well, that brings us to the end of our program for today. We would once again like to open the floor to anyone who has any questions. This is your last opportunity. If not, we would like to thank you so much for your time, for your commitment, and most importantly, for your support towards DIL over the years. I really mean this when I say this, that we would not be where we are at without the generous support of all our chapter members and our donors. So one more time from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Please continue supporting DIL and the work that we do, and help us achieve some of the goals and the plans that you heard about today.